In the late 18th century, on the lush tropical island of Saint-Domingue, now known as Haiti, a man would rise from the depths of slavery to become one of the most formidable figures in history. His name was Toussaint Louverture, but history would remember him as the Black Napoleon. In a world dominated by colonial empires, where the color of one's skin determined fate, Toussaint defied the odds. He would lead the only successful slave revolt in history, forging a path toward freedom that would inspire generations to come. Today, we're diving into the heroic quest for freedom led by this extraordinary man. A story of courage, betrayal, and an unyielding fight for justice. Join us as we uncover the incredible journey of Haiti's greatest hero. Born into slavery in 1743, Toussaint Louverture was an unlikely revolutionary. Yet from an early age, he exhibited traits that set him apart. He was literate, intelligent, and deeply spiritual, a combination that would shape his destiny. The world of Saint-Domingue was a brutal one. The French colony was the richest in the world, thanks to its vast sugar plantations, but this wealth was built on the backs of enslaved Africans. Conditions were harsh and life expectancy was short, but the winds of change were beginning to blow. In 1789, the French Revolution erupted across the Atlantic, and the ideas of liberty, equality, fraternity began to seep into the Caribbean. The enslaved population of Saint-Domingue, inspired by these ideals, saw a glimmer of hope. The revolt began in 1791, a violent and chaotic uprising that would see the enslaved population rise up against their oppressors. It was in this crucible of fire that Toussaint Louverture emerged as a leader. His strategic genius quickly became apparent. Toussaint was not just a warrior, he was a statesman, a diplomat, and a visionary. He recognized that the fight for freedom was not just about breaking chains, it was about building a nation. Toussaint's military campaigns were nothing short of remarkable. With limited resources and an army of former slaves, he defeated the French, Spanish, and British forces sent to crush the rebellion. He used guerrilla tactics, knowledge of the terrain, and sheer determination to outmaneuver his enemies. Under his leadership, the former slaves transformed into a disciplined and effective fighting force. By 1801, Toussaint had effectively taken control of Saint-Domingue. He declared himself Governor-General for life and enacted a new constitution that abolished slavery and aimed to create a multiracial society. Toussaint's vision was not just for a free Haiti, but for a land where all people could live as equals, regardless of race. But Toussaint's success was viewed with fear and suspicion by the great powers of the time. Napoleon Bonaparte, the ruler of France, saw Toussaint's Haiti as a threat to his empire. He could not allow a colony to be led by a former slave, especially one so successful. In 1802, Napoleon sent his brother-in-law, General Charles Leclerc, with a massive army to retake the island and reimpose slavery. Toussaint Louverture's resistance was fierce, but the French forces were overwhelming. Using treachery and deception, they captured Toussaint and sent him to France, where he would die in a cold, damp prison in 1803. But his spirit and the seeds of freedom he had sown were far from extinguished. Even in his absence, the fight continued. Toussaint's lieutenants, particularly Jean-Jacques Dessalines, picked up the torch. By 1804, the French were decisively defeated, and Saint-Domingue declared its independence, becoming the world's first black republic and the first nation in the Western Hemisphere to abolish slavery. The legacy of Toussaint Louverture. Toussaint Louverture's legacy is one of unparalleled courage and determination. He was a man who refused to accept the chains of bondage and instead became the architect of his people's freedom. His life and his struggle stand as a testament to the power of resistance against oppression and the indomitable human spirit. Yet his story is also a reminder of the complexities of revolution. Toussaint's dream of a free and equal society was only partially realized, and Haiti's subsequent history has been fraught with challenges. But the heroic quest for freedom that Toussaint led has inspired countless others around the world. Toussaint Louverture may not have lived to see the full fruits of his labor, but he is, without a doubt, one of the most influential figures in the history of the Americas. His title, the Black Napoleon, is not just a comparison to the European conqueror. It is a declaration that greatness knows no color, and that the fight for freedom is universal. Toussaint Louverture's story is one of triumph and tragedy, of vision and sacrifice. It is a story that continues to resonate, reminding us that the quest for freedom is ongoing, and that the courage to stand against tyranny is a legacy worth celebrating. What do you think about the impact of Toussaint Louverture on history? How did his struggle shape the future of not only Haiti but the world? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth explorations of history's most inspiring figures. Thank you for joining us on this journey, and until next time, keep the flame of freedom alive.